Is it working? Oh boy. We seem. We seem to be working. Okay. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm just, you know, just struggling a little bit. What else is new? Hello. I'm Amanda Call. You're on my YouTube channel where I am going to be working on trying to finish this coloring this comic page. I probably won't finish it on tonight's stream, but we'll get a lot further anyway. Uh, so yes, for a change, you can see my face because I have the camera on me and the the fancy OBS situation showing you what I'm drawing as well on Photoshop, where I am coloring this page from Prophets of Doom, which is written by Joe Schmolke and drawn by me. And yeah, I did all of the pencils and inks for this page on stream a little while ago, and last week I started working on the colors, and we're gonna see how much further I can get on the colors this evening. So, just to remind you what we have going on here. So, I have my flats that have been prepared for me by my lovely flatter. Um, However, she always sets things up with like super saturated, like eye bleedy colors because they're very easy to select. And so right now I put a little layer of white underneath them, and then I have the colors, her flats desaturated. They're down to, or rather, the opacity's turned down to 50% because at 100% it's like, bah, bah, which we don't need to, it's just like distracting to look at while I'm trying to work on. So I have that turned down to 50%. If I get through doing the shadows layer this evening, I'll start changing the colors to what they're actually going to look like in the final product and not the flats colors. So we'll see if we get to that point this evening. Hey, someone sane and Spud. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, so don't make that noise at me. Don't make the Windows noise at me. See, look, you made the Windows noise at me and you made me make a little dot on my screen. I didn't need that. All right. So we're going to go back. Oh, yeah, that's right. I started doing this guy's face and I didn't like the way that it turned out, and I undid it at the end of last time. That's what happened. So let's see if we can get something I'm more satisfied with this time. I am, of course, working on a bunch of these pages, like coloring a bunch of these pages, not on the stream. This one has just been kind of languishing, waiting for me to get back to it. Because I'm trying to have this done so that we can do like have like some of them available. I don't know what the terms for anything are. I've only ever like self-published. So like I don't working with an actual publisher, even just a small press like Midnight Factory, I'm just like, oh, I don't know what all of this is. But basically, we're going to have the book is going to be in distribution with Midnight Factory like next spring. But we want to have the book like done and have copies of it to just sell ourselves at conventions and stuff between now and then. I don't know what you would call that initial little print run, but that's what I'm trying to get this ready for, is to have that for Granite Con, which is in 2 months. 2 months seems like it's really far away, but it takes a long time to do this stuff, and after I'm done coloring it, it still needs to get laid out, and it still needs to go to, well, first it needs to go to a letterer, and then it needs to get laid out, because I'm not doing the letters. Because Joe wanted Micah Myers to do the letters, I think is the plan. That's the plan. So the goal is that I will get this all colored and sent off to Micah with enough time for him to do all the lettering, and then for Joe to lay it out and get it to the printer so that we will have it for GraniteCon. Is this even remotely feasible? I don't know. I'm doing my best. I'm really, really trying. Hopefully, hopefully we will get it done in time. I don't want to tempt fate and say that I absolutely will, because then I'll like get hit by a bus or something, because that is how life works. That is just what happens when you're all like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. No. Life will immediately try to humble you in the most dramatic way possible. All right, I feel better about that attempt at shading his face. So we're gonna move on. So I have a fun sparkling lemonade beverage because I actually went into Civilization this past weekend and got to go to a Trader Joe's because the nearest Trader Joe's to me is like 200 miles away. So I don't get little Trader Joe's treats very often. But this past weekend, I went to Portland on Sunday and went to the Decemberists concert, and it was so freaking good, you guys. It was so good. I've now been to four of their concerts, and they're always good. They're always like not just good, they're always fantastic. They put on an excellent live show, and obviously I'm a big fan, which is why I've been to four of their concerts. So you know, I'm predisposed to liking them, but also like I know what like not good live music would sound like. They do an excellent job. They're very tight and they're very good live. They put on a really good show. But yeah, we went and saw them at the State Theater in Portland, Maine, and it was a sold out show and we were in general admission, so we got to be like right up toward the front. It's pretty great. Nope, still need to do that. Still need to do his little bangs there. And give him a little forehead wrinkle there too. But yes, because Portland is like a good like 3 hour drive from where I live, then we stayed overnight and the next day we went and did like some shopping and for things that we like can't get where we live. And like had a nice breakfast at one of the little bakery coffee shop places. It was a nice little overnight getaway in addition to getting to see a really good concert. All right. There's that. Da, 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 da. Okay, I think that's it for him. Okay. So we're going to now work on his suit. No, I didn't. Where did this? I don't want this. I accidentally grabbed a ruler guide. I don't want it. It's not what I want right now. I'll fix that in a second there. All right, so how is everybody else doing? How was your weekend? Hey, Hungry. Thanks for joining me. I don't think any of you were at the same concert I was at, although it was very funny as we were like arriving at the venue and trying to find the end of the line. I ran into two different people that I know because Maine, that's why. And one of them is like from my local gaming convention, SnowCon is where I know him from. And then another one is actually the owner, Jeff Klein, the owner of Derby Pop Publishing. And I used to run into him constantly at all the little, because they're based out of Maine, and I used to run into him constantly at like all the little conventions all over the state. I haven't seen him as much lately, but it was like for a while there we saw each other many, many times a year at lots of different events. So I was just like, oh my gosh. Not really sure what's going on with this lighting situation at the moment. I'm kind of just messing around and feeling it out as I go, I guess, would be the best descriptor of what's going on here. A bit of an introvert, so I didn't do anything exciting. That's okay, someone's saying. Entirely fair. That was actually like a discussion that my husband and I had after like the next morning, where if he was left to his own devices, he would never do anything, and he enjoys going and doing things with me, but if I were not dragging him out, he would not be doing anything. He would just be like, or I could stay home. Nah, you're good. I often take forever to reply when y'all leave comments because I am staring at what I'm working on and not looking at the comments. So it is okay. I don't like that shape. What are we doing there? I think we're going to do that instead. I think that's a little better. All right. Yeah, I like that better. Spud says that he bought a new electric mower. That, I mean, that is pretty exciting. I would be excited about that. Oh my gosh, you guys, my mother-in-law, because as I've described before, we live on like a little family compound with my in-laws, and my mother-in-law decided like she's always been the one who's done the bulk of the mowing, because I am not interested in doing that, and she decided this year that she was tired of doing all of the mowing, and so she taught our 12-year-old how to run the riding lawnmower. And now he'll just like randomly be like, I'm gonna mow the lawn. And he just like goes out there and tools around on the lawnmower. And he thinks this is like the best thing ever because he gets to drive something, right? He gets to drive something with a motor. So this is still like very cool and novel for him. He does a truly terrible job because he's like not approaching it at all methodically. He's just kind of like zooming all over the place with no rhyme or reason. So you end up with all of these like weird patterns cut into the grass and like random patches of like tall weeds and everything. It's really funny. But I'm just like, yeah, you go for it, buddy. Gotta love that enthusiasm. It's very sweet. It's very silly. It is. It is. It's great. I love it. I imagine eventually he'll catch on that this is actually a chore and then be like, "Oh no, wait. I don't want to cut the grass. I feel like I've been had." But for now, he's into it. Okay, all of these buttons need to be shadowed too. Make these buttons a little bit shadowed. All right. Nope, not that layer. This layer. Okay. Clean that edge up a little bit. All right. Those guys are all done in the foreground there. Oh, we gotta do this table. We have Wickle nervously shredding up his napkin here. Being like, I don't know about this. Hello! Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. WF 1187. How have you been? Doing all right. Good. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a very, very busy stretch here for a bit. Did you select? I told you to select. There we go. Because, oh my gosh, yes, I didn't even get to this part of, nope, wrong layer. Try that again. This layer, Amanda. Okay. Uh, so after we were, oh, nice. Yeah, I went and saw that with the kids last week. How did you like it? We really enjoyed it. The kids really had a good time. I thought it was really good. Like any of the like quibbles or anything I might have had with it are relatively minor. Overall, I really liked it. Yeah, very solid. Very solid movie. Oh yeah, but as I was about to start saying, so we took our time coming home on Monday, and then i.e. yesterday, and then yesterday evening. Okay, I want to actually do that as contiguous because I just want this little pamphlet here with all its little different colors. And then I'm going to select the other stuff that's inside of it this way instead of making myself too nuts. And then yesterday evening, I had town meeting. Wah! Because, no, I did the wrong, I did the wrong one. I meant to do this one. There we go. I had town meeting, so that was fun. So I think most of you are aware of what my day job is, but I'll just quickly reiterate. So my day job is I am my town's municipal clerk in my very small town in Maine. And that means that, like, your typical office staff at your town hall or whatever, that's pretty much because we're such a small town, there's just like three of us. That's the entire office, and only two of us do admin stuff. One of us is just like the town manager basically. So she doesn't do any like direct administrative, like helping like residents with anything as far as like filling out paperwork and stuff. Like she helps residents with a lot of different stuff, but not like the state paperwork functionary type stuff like we do. Um, but yeah, so the thing that's very cool about living in Maine is that we have a very neat old timey form of direct democracy called the town meeting. And what that is that the um, everything that a town that has a town open town meeting structure or just a town meeting structure, because there's other ways, like if you have a city council or whatever, you can structure your town a little bit differently. um, but if you are a traditional town meeting town, then your legislative body is actually the residents of the town, the voting populace of the town. So the only way that ordinances can be passed or that or that your budget is approved every year is through a town meeting where all of the voters in the town get a chance to weigh in and vote directly on whether or not they're going to spend the money on these different things or how much they're going to spend on these different things, which is very cool because most people do not get the opportunity to do that. So people all over Maine can just like show up and see exactly every penny that their town is spending on different things and say directly, yes, we approve of this, or no, we don't approve of this, or if people can propose their own ordinances and like petition to get them put on the town meeting agenda and for everybody to vote on whether or not they're going to be enacted. And it's just very cool because a lot of places you don't have that direct level. Like we have a lot of representative democracy where you vote for somebody who then does this work for you and makes these decisions for you. But it's really cool that in Maine we get to do this like directly ourselves. Not through a representative, but just actually everyone who lives here can just be like, yes, this is what we want and we're going to come and vote for it. Or no, we don't like that and we're going to vote it down. So it's very cool. But as like the one of two administrative people for my town, getting all of that together, doing all the stuff to make sure that the town meeting happens correctly is a lot of work. And that was last night. And it went fine. I kind of would have liked more people to show up. Voter turnout was, our resident turnout was not really where I like to see it. I would have liked to have seen more people, but I am glad that those that came did come, and we had lots of really good discussions. If you're interested in like how all of that goes, you should check out my my friend Abby actually came to the meeting, even though they're not a resident in my town, because the other administrative person is my friend Mari, who is their wife, and so they came to like support us, which was very nice. But they also posted the whole thing as it was happening, like posted about the whole thing, live tweeted, live skeeted. It's not a tweet. It was on Blue Sky, not on Twitter. It was on Blue Sky. Yeah, Twitter. Screw Twitter. We're done with Twitter. We're done with the den of Nazi nonsense going on Twitter. Yeah, so if you check out Abby the Cleric on Blue Sky, you can see their breakdown of how the meeting went as it was happening, which was very fun. I had no idea they were doing it until after the fact. I was told later, like, oh, they were live tweeting that whole thing. Yeah, stupid. It was also just like, man, that's a whole other rant, but it was just so frustrating when Twitter, I'm not calling it X. That's the dumbest shit ever. When Twitter like started getting real bad, it was obviously like, man, this platform is no longer any good. It was just so disappointing because I had been on Twitter for a long time, you guys. I am old. I had been on Twitter for many, many years. And I was just like, I used to enjoy looking at things on this site, and now it is garbage. This is a bummer. Oh well. But yeah, so that was the big crazy thing I was doing yesterday as well. Uh, but yes, definitely interesting. If you are interested in how these things go, you should check it out. Check out Abby's little live tweet, live post thing of it. It was quite good. I mean, the thing is, like, with a lot of platforms, especially ones that are very, like, very, that are very much like just town square instead of walled garden kind of experiences, is that you really had to be very, very liberal with curating and blocking people and just being like, okay, this is what I want to follow. And like, oh no, this person's awful. I'm gonna block them. And not be like afraid of like, oh no, but what if blocking this person makes me look bad, or what if I miss something or whatever. Like, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just block them. Just block them. Cuz yeah, Twitter would already be completely impossible to would have from the get-go would have been completely impossible to use without being very careful about curating your experience, just because it was kind of like that was the only tool you really had to filter out any kind of nonsense. It's not like somewhere like Facebook where you only see stuff if you're like, oh yes, I like this person and I want to be connected with this person. You could basically end up seeing almost anything on Twitter unless you are specifically like, I do not want that. Please go away. Just because of how it worked. But whatever. It's done. It's dead now. Okay, there's a speaker. Getting some of these background elements in here now. I'm gonna do this wall. Hopefully this didn't just select a bunch of other stuff I didn't want it to. Possibly. We'll see. Probably I'll have to fix some of that. It's fine. Yeah, at this point. At this point, it's absolutely just forget it. Just forget it. All right, this is like a no, Amanda, you're on the wrong layer. Good grief. We have like this bar kind of scene here, so it's very. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix some of that. It's like quite quite a lot of shadows. Oh, that part is not selected. That would explain why I couldn't, why I could not color it in. Okay. All right, let's clean up some of this edge here. Some of this, like, oh my god. All right, we do want, oh my word, why can't, okay. We've got shadow under Robbie, and oh, that's not selected. Under his equipment. Good grief. I didn't want you to get the side of the amp. What are you doing? No! We're just gonna color that whole thing. I think that's fine. And the floor. Have like some areas where it's like, oh yeah, there's like a little bit of light like around the stage. The rest of this can be kind of dark though, because again, it's a dark, like, dark bar area. We should maybe have some other areas where there's a little bit of light. Like, oh, there's some light coming from over there. We'll see. I may decide I don't like that once I color it in, but this is what we're doing for now. Alright, I'm gonna try to get these guys like shaded up here in the band. I shouldn't have to do as much like actual selecting. Do you use OBS when streaming from your computer? I do. That is pretty much the only thing I've really tried to use. I'm sure there's other stuff out there, but OBS is free and seems to be working just fine. Not gonna get super bogged down in details on these guys because they're kind of off in the background at this point. So I'm gonna try to get like just the shadows on this panel done, and then I will start doing some of the like changing the local colors to what they're actually going to be to kind of show you what we're actually going for here just on this first panel. Not the most efficient way to do this, but just to kind of show you what's going on. Like what this is, get us away from like the eye bleedy colors and show you where the what the vision actually is here. Because I've already held you guys in suspense for, that'll be like almost 2 entire streams now. Get the whole side of this wedge. Do, 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 do. This is actually like in the foreground. This is the table that this lady is standing at over here, but that's fine. I'm just gonna get it because it's like right there. Bass player drinking a beer. Oh, that somehow got all... Okay. What just happened there? Alright, and then this lady... I'm gonna give a fairly minimal shadow treatment too. Alright, okay. So, now I have all the... nope, I didn't do this one. Hold on, I just noticed something else. Hold, please. I just need to fill that in. Okay. Alright, so I think I have all those shadows done in this first panel. So, now, while we still have a little bit of time left, I'm just going to show you what these colors are actually supposed to look like. Because I figured them out on a different page. You can see this is more of like what the actual color palette for this page is. It's very different from what I have there currently. So we're going to turn this all the way back up. Ah! Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Please don't select all of the things when I just select the one thing. The flatting is supposed to prevent this. It doesn't always work correctly. Literally the whole thing that the flatting is supposed to be for. So annoying. Anyway. Oh, I didn't get his eyebrows. What is that selecting? What is going on here? No, 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 no. Good grief. Okay, we're just gonna do that then. Since apparently I cannot trust you to do anything here, selection tool. I think his eyes are the same color. They are. Okay. And his extremely red shirt is not going to be extremely red. It is going to be this light color. I don't think I did his tie in this one. Okay, I'll have to decide what color his tie is going to be. We'll come back to that. It's just very funny when this is like halfway in process where it's just like, and all of a sudden he looks completely ridiculous and out of place because I have not fixed all the other colors around him yet. Like, he doesn't look ridiculous and out of place on this page. He just looks ridiculous and out of place right now because I haven't fixed all the colors around him. That's making the local color look very goofy. Oh, goodness. Okay. It's gonna get better. Don't worry. Have faith. We're gonna get there. Oh, I didn't get this part. This guy is so incredibly bright orange. He looks like a peach ring. No, okay, we gotta do that the other way around because that's not gonna work because that's gonna make his hair color too close to his skin color to fix. Okay, let's try that again. We gotta do this in the other order. That's better. Okay. And this very bright blue suit situation is going to get toned down into this kind of slate color. I think his pants are supposed to be the same. And then his shirt. She did his shirt and tie all the same color, so I'm going to have to fix that a little bit because also the sleeves should be showing, at least on that one. And the tie is supposed to be a darker color. So I gotta fix that real quick. Oh my goodness. We've got some crazy pants going on here. Crazy, crazy pants. There's like a silver color I was using. That one. I almost like him still wearing like bright pink pants, but they don't really fit in with the rest of the scene. I do kind of like him wearing bright pink pants though. I might have to just tone it down a little bit, but it actually is kind of funny if he's wearing pink pants. I kind of like it. I'm just like, why are you wearing pink pants? Why not? There we go. They're gonna still be pink. I like it. I think his tie might also need to be pink. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah, that was really good. That amuses me way too much. No, I don't want that to be. I want his belt buckle to be like a metal color still. Okay, I like that. I think that works pretty well. I think that's working pretty well. We'll see if once I change the rest of the background colors, if that doesn't actually work. For right now, I like it. Anyway, okay. So we're in like the less than 10 minutes of the stream at this point. So I will quickly go over the YouTube things while I get a little bit more of this color corrected. I might do some of this off stream as well, just so that we can oh my God. So that we can, because this part's a little bit tedious, and that way we can just like continue on with the fun parts next time. So I will remind everybody, I'm Amanda Call. This is my channel here on the YouTubes. I do these live streams pretty much every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like watching me work on comics and talk about what I'm doing, then you should subscribe so you can tune back in next time and not miss it. The comic that I am working on this evening is Prophets of Doom, which is written by Joe Schmolke and drawn by me. It is published by Midnight Factory. So if you I'm actually wearing my Midnight Factory shirt today. So if you want to learn more about Prophets of Doom, you should check out Midnight Factory. And actually, Joe and Hillary are on their way to, and a few other like artists with Midnight Factory are on their way to San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to be there this weekend. And if you stop by their table in the small press pavilion, they have like obviously a bunch of cool stuff that's already been published, but also a really cool preview book that's free with any purchase that has an excerpt from Prophets of Doom in it. So if you happen to be going to San Diego Comic-Con, you should check that out. More general stuff, if you want to follow me on various social medias, I am active to different degrees on several of them. You can find me usually as either Amanda Call Art or Age of Night. The walls are like purple. I keeps on selecting that beer bottle. I'm not going to mess with that right now. We're going to leave that be. I'm going to mess with that more a little bit later. But you can see now kind of the that this is starting to push in the direction of where it will be like this pretty soon. So for next time, I think I'm going to try to get the local colors mostly fixed. And then we will finish doing our shading and all that fun stuff. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I will see you all next time. Bye.